Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another program in our series, Global Connections. Today's program is for all you people out there who are smokers. It's also for other kinds of addiction, but it's a special kind of therapy. And with me today are two people. One is Craig Nabat and the other is Karen Stewart, who are from Freedom Laser Therapy. Thank you very much for being with me.
Thanks for having us.
Craig, would you tell me, first of all, why are you visiting Detroit?
We're actually putting up our second Freedom Laser Therapy office in Royal Oak. And we've been in business for about 14 months. Our first clinic was in Los Angeles.
Okay, now what made you start it at all?
Well, I was a totally addicted smoker, pack and a half a day smoker, and I ended up going to Canada getting treated for it's quit smoking laser therapy, which that's what the procedure is called. It's a 30-minute treatment.
And where was that? Was it
in Windsor, Canada?
Oh, it was in Windsor, so it was quite close. So it was easy to come across the border and say, "Ooh, this place is ripe."
I'm a Detroit native. I heard this rumor about this laser therapy.
Oh,
It was so effective, so I ended up going.
Now, the laser therapy for addiction is not new, I understand. Where did it start?
It started in Singapore, but it's been around for approximately 30 years in Europe and in Canada.
You know, that always amazes me, ladies and gentlemen. You hear about something in a global sense being around for 30 years and you say to yourself, well, why is it we don't have it? Why is it we didn't get it sooner?
Corporate greed.
Corporate greed? Which corporations?
I can't pinpoint exactly, but
No,
figure
you
the
don't have to.
tobacco industry for one, and pharmaceutical companies. You know.
Both of them, yeah. Now, Karen, you're a psychologist.
Yes.
That is I don't mean you're a psychologist by coincidence, but you're working with Craig by coincidence as a psychologist.
Yes.
Do you find that in working with people, addiction is really common?
Oh, absolutely. Our clients come in 100% addicted to nicotine. And it's a very powerful substance that a lot of people don't look at as being something as powerful as maybe a heroin, cocaine, alcohol. And it's very difficult to get off smoking. And that's why the laser is very helpful, because it helps with the physical addiction as well as the psychological.
Now, what is laser treatment like? I mean, it's like acupuncture or something?
Similar to the principles of acupuncture, and you're stimulating energy points in the hands, face, and ears that deal with addiction. The whole premise behind the laser treatment is you're trying to increase the endorphin production in the body. When the smoker quits, their endorphin levels are dropping and their blood sugar drops. It makes them go through terrible withdrawals, and the laser therapy counteracts that process.
I'm glad I don't have an addiction to tobacco, although I have to say both my parents smoked very heavily. Tell me more about the actual process itself. I mean, let's say I go into your clinic and I say I have a terrible tobacco addiction. Take me through that. What do I do now?
Whether someone's a half a pack a day smoker, a pack a day, 2 packs a day, that's one 30-minute treatment. Basically, it helps them through the withdrawal process. If they need a follow-up treatment, it's really a painless procedure. The client feels a tingly sensation through their body. They're very relaxed through the process, and they watch a 30-minute video that deals with the psychological aspects of the addiction, and then there's a vitamin detox regimen to help them basically detoxify the body. It only takes approximately 10 days to get the nicotine out of the bloodstream.
So it doesn't really matter whether they're just a few cigarettes a day or 5 packs? It's still the same thing?
The whole process is just getting the nicotine out of the bloodstream, which only takes 10 days, and after that, they're only dealing with the psychological aspects. The first 10 days of the physical dependency, and the first 72 hours is the crucial detox period. That's the hardest time. That's why people have such a hard time giving up smoke. It's that first 72 hours.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because there's I think there's a television program on or something right now about people that are trying to withdraw, and it's supposed to be a terrible process. Not having gone through it myself, I don't know, but you know, I over the years I've heard of things like, oh, I've got a monkey in my back, and all this kind of business.
It is.
Yeah.
And so it's very, very difficult. When you went through your withdrawal, did you actually stop cold at the end of 10 days?
Yes. I mean, literally, people walk in as smoking 2 packs a day, and they walk out feeling, wow, I don't want a cigarette. So it's a very strange feeling for a smoker who's been smoking for 30 years, and all of a sudden they're like, it's really weird, I don't want a cigarette anymore. I mean, it's amazing. It truly is.
I can't even grasp this. Tell me where you actually put the laser.
It's pressure points in the hands,
Okay.
top of the head, and the ears. There's several points in the ears. And
So
it's
is
based
it-
on the principles of
And is it
acupuncture.
done one at a time?
Yes.
Or are they all done, it's one at a time?
About 25 seconds, anywhere from 25 to 40 seconds per spot.
How powerful is the laser itself?
It's a low-level laser.
Low
and
level.
It's completely painless in the sense where the most it'll feel is maybe when I say pinprick, a tingly sensation, and it's a calming sensation. There's no discomfort whatsoever.
Now, how far can this go? Because I know as a psychologist, you must have studied addiction in general.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I have to admit, I'm admitting this publicly, I'm addicted to chocolate. Can that be cured?
Cured? We do offer a treatment that is for stress, but addiction is addiction. Whether it's chocolate, nicotine, addiction is addiction. So yes, we would.
You know what the real problem is? I don't know if I want to be cured. If it's chocolate, generally speaking, I can control myself if there's no chocolate around. And I imagine it might be the same way with smokers. It's not quite so bad. You're looking at me as no, you don't know what you're talking about.
It gives you an endorphin rush. Sugar gives you an endorphin rush, and that's
Yes.
really what they're chasing. It's not so much the product itself, it's the endorphin rush that they're getting from the product. So the laser does help with that.
Okay, but obviously you have to want to stop smoking, right?
Certainly.
I wonder how many people will come in. I mean, have you had experience in California, people that come in because, the family, or the wife, or the husband, or whoever says to them, you've got to quit smoking and I've made an appointment for you at the Freedom Laser Therapy. Does it work with them?
It does work with them. What happens a lot of times is they were urged to come in by, someone else wanted them to quit smoking. They got off smoking for several days. They felt great, and they got overconfident and thought they could have one cigarette. So they end up, and then they're like, wow, I felt so great, but maybe I wasn't ready to quit yet. And then they do come back in for a follow-up treatment, and we urge them to. We want them to come back in. I mean, that's what our whole purpose is. We're trying to make sure that they end their addiction permanently. So
Right.
whether they need one treatment or two treatments, it's really no difference to us. We just want to make sure their addiction is permanently ended.
Is this something that's expensive?
The cost of the procedure is $399, and if they need the follow-up treatment, there's no time limit on it. It's $30 to come back in for the follow-up treatment.
Oh, it's only $30 for the follow-up treatment.
Yes. And then if for some, in rare circumstances, they need to come back in, it's $99. And that's anytime they ever need to come back. That's it. So we want to make sure that's...
Now, is there any way that people can get covered by their insurance for this?
And not until
It's an
it's probably
addiction?
FDA approved. It's gonna be a couple of years.
Oh, I see. It's got to be FDA approved. Now, I know that the FDA is supposedly there to help us and guide us and all the rest of it. Are there any disadvantages from your standpoint to being FDA approved?
We have more competition, but I would, we want to be one of the leaders of the industry. So I'm not really. I say more competition brings more awareness, and there's more people getting off smoking. So I say I want it to be FDA approved.